Mother's Day, May 8th, Sunday. It was nice to kind of sleep in. It's nice to sleep in. I was just supposed to take a nap. I was just supposed to take a nap. I wake up, I keep working, but I just fell asleep. And the dream that I had was so wild. It was wild. Different parts. I don't even remember. I'm not even gonna try. But it was different parts. People were angry because of some rules. Rules were being broke. It's just a lot. It didn't make sense. It did not make sense. Oh, excuse me. But I woke up with just reflecting. I watched my video that posted today. Or the flow. Something with my flow. And just remembering what I wrote on that one. But how I'm talking about, so guarded. So I'm clearly lighter in spirit there, right? And then just realizing, like, I don't even know if I have time for a friendship. And then, where I am right now, the progression, right, of the cycle, and having met this new fire sign, and then kind of trying to balance all that, right? Like hanging out with him, but still doing my work, still doing me, my projects, my responsibilities, and it just trying to find the balance and all that, right? And then reflecting on yesterday, right? The possibility. I don't know if it was him. At the park, and I wasn't looking. I people watched, but I was walking, and I just happened to glance, and it looked like him, but who knows? I don't know. I could totally be wrong. But just even just that thought of the possibility, right? And I chose to sit with it because I'm like, does it bother me, right? And still with that, like, I think I'm still like trying to sit with that, like, does it bother me? Does it bother me? And I keep coming to the same answer, like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't bother me. So I'm just like, oh, that's good. That's good that it's not bothering me. I'm trying to sit with it to make sure, right? Because I was emotional, and then I was trying to think, like, well, then why was I so emotional? Like the last few weeks of like this fear of like losing him, and I think, and honestly, I think a lot of it is that whole cycle, the just what I used to fear, I think got triggered. Again, he's just another lesson, right? Like the triggering of how I used to do things, and because this is new for me after a long time, there's this element of like, oh, I remember, right? The trigger, right? Where it's the reminder, the sting of like, oh my gosh, and just how I used to do relationships, right? I used to give all of me. I used to offer too much. I used to jump all in quickly, and I didn't do that with him. I mean, did I take it a little further than I did with the last person? I mean, we haven't like literally crossed that line. Like, it's somewhere in the middle. It was somewhere in the middle. It really was somewhere in the middle. Like, we didn't cross the line, but we weren't completely like not engaging, right? We just fooled around and and meet out and hung out. So it was a nice balance, I guess. But and I think there was that fear too, because I really like him. I do. I mean, I still like him. And he knows that I'm okay with him exploring and doing his thing. He was honest about it from the beginning of where he was at, knowing also, I'm like, well, I'm not really looking, but I am at the same time, right? Because clearly they want me to find someone. If I'm entertaining ideas, right? They want me to find king to my throne. That's still funny to me. That's still funny to me. But so it is what it is. And but just sitting with it again, I think it's just I'm kind of shocked at myself. Like, okay, Yubi, like you're going through all these triggers, you're feeling them clearly, you're getting emotional about them, appropriately so. Pero luego a la mera hora, right? At the time that's needed, you're like, you're okay, you're good. And even thinking like, so it's reassuring. I think that's what it is. It's this reassurance of like, yeah, if he finds someone else, that's okay. Like, because I told him it would be okay. I expected that, right? Because we're just getting to know each other. And then just immediately going to gratefulness, going to gratitude about all this, realizing, right, that I didn't think that I would feel aroused again. I didn't think that I would like someone again. I didn't think that I would tap into that side of myself again, and so knowing that I can, I think has been so far the best gift that he's given me. It's just that awareness within myself that I could tap into that flame within again in that manner. And just even what was evoked in the beginning, right? All these poems that were just coming out, and the purging, if you will, expansion, if you whatever you want to call it. Grateful for that experience. Grateful for the sexual tension, the sweetness and just holding hands, the pleasure of his company, like he wanted to take me to Utah last weekend. Spontaneous, literally spontaneous. He and the moment he offered, I saw myself with this person from my past. Well, even with even the other guy who kind of decided never to talk to me again. Well, I mean, they're both in the same boat. Because I haven't heard back from either of them. Not that I want them to, but when I proposed to this person from my past, let's go San Diego. But no, let's get away. I remember I said that to him, let's get away. And we went to Palm Springs. And then a few weeks after that, we went to Salt Lake. And then this other person that I met at the market, right? The one guy that we had I was counting it. I'm like, how many months did we have of just friendship talking? Because he had to travel, and he invited me. I think I don't know if I said that. He invited me. He was leaving in a couple weeks, but he invited me to go to where was he going? Istanbul. He invited me to go to Istanbul. I'm like, are you sure? And I remember his face. And he's just like, I like you. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't know me. And I mean, I didn't end up going because I don't know him. But clearly, right, that's what he wanted. And I didn't get that. And then this guy, this new fireside, last week, It was spontaneous. His family has a house in was it Utah? Where's that place? Tahoe, not Utah. No, it's Utah. It's Tahoe. Tahoe's in California, right? I've never been. To Tahoe, Lake Tahoe is where he invited me. Like literally spontaneous, and I was already struggling with connecting with him that day. That weekend, last weekend, only because I knew I had all this stuff that was gonna be due, and I needed to work on it. But already at the I don't give a flying at work and school, I was overwhelmed, and I just needed a break. I needed to get out, and that's how we ended up hanging out. But he wanted to take me to Tahoe. He was like, let's just go. And there was a part of me, I was trying to like logistically trying to figure out. I'm like, well, how long? And I mean, there was nothing planned. And then he's like, oh, but you have work. I'm like, yeah, I have work. I'm like, but do you have internet? Like, I just need internet. And a timeline, like how long are we going to stay there so I can logistically plan what time, my last client ends to travel back. But there was too much planning involved that we just kind of said, no, it's just not, as spontaneous as I wanted to be and honor his spontaneity that he shared. I was literally in the middle of like, I'm behind on work. I have all these presentations and papers due. Like it just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to unfold in that way. But the moment he offered that, I was taken back. I was like, oh my gosh, the cycle's repeating. The cycle's freaking repeating. It's just repeating in a different way. Repeating in a different way. It's so wild. It's so wild when you pick up on the pattern. Yeah. But I'm glad that we made the agreements. Friends first, friends last. So I appreciate that. I appreciate this experience so far, this awareness that I have. And the fact that I was able to respect myself to, in the sense of like not giving all of myself completely, right? And still enjoying myself, still giving myself permission to cross certain lines, but not all lines. Just balanced. I think that's what I appreciate. And just the knowing that I still have that within, que todavía me pueden hacer para alguien, that I could still bring this to life, for someone. I think that's what I am. I appreciate the most. So we'll see. Regardless, we'll be friends. That's good. I mean, we are friends, I guess. Or working on it. It's nice. I think there's a march today for the Roe versus Wade situation. And I don't think I'm gonna go. It's not my scene. I don't think it's my scene. I participated in a march once. It was one of the first marches in a long time. I was in undergrad. I think it was for immigration, for workers. If it was immigration. trying to remember. I was volunteering with a Salvadorian organization in LA. I was a mentor um, to a high school student, and I liked that there was like a political sense to them, like because there was always something within me of wanting to go some political, like it just policy. I remember, I vaguely remember, that's triggered, I just forgot about that there was a part of me at some point in my life that I wondered about that route, the political route, policy making, and so this organization was very much, was I in grad school? Gosh, I don't even remember. That those years were such a blur. I think I was an undergrad. And I think I was just looking for volunteer work. I don't think there were, or did I get a scholarship from them? I don't, maybe I did. And I don't remember. But anyways, I appreciated that there was a political element to this organization. I'm trying to remember the name of the organization, but it was Salvadorian, because that was part of their name. And it was in LA, one of the largest marches. I want to say it was for immigration, and I remember being a part of that and thinking, oh, this is cool, like that, we're all like just walking in solidarity, like there's this united feeling of everyone that's there for the same cause, same mission. But it was very peaceful, like there wasn't like fighting. There were like, that was one of the biggest things that they ensured was, let's make sure that we're all peaceful, that we're not angry about it, that we're, just being respectful, that we're just wanting our voices heard. And it was done. There really wasn't like an attack or anything. Like, it was very nicely coordinated, and it was huge. We were on TV, and I remember thinking, that's so cool. Like, it had been years since there was something like that, and to be a part of something like that was wonderful. There was no like, there was really no aggravation, no with the police, and like it was just really cool. So I heard about this possible march today, and I heard a video of like how to prepare for it, and it was so defensive. There was so much defense around it, and that made me sad to hear, but at the same time grateful to know that this is a reality, still a reality. And the voice was saying, use a Sharpie to write your attorney's name and number on your wrist, right? In the event that your stuff gets taken away, that you wear goggles, right, in case you get sprayed with something. Take milk in case you get sprayed, pepper sprayed with something. What else did they say? Like, a lot of it was in defense from the police, just in case you get hurt. Oh, a first aid kit, to take a first aid kit. And I'm just like, wow, it's come to this, that people are so angry, and so hurt. It's Peter. So it clearly sounds like it'll be a different experience. It's not my same. Not like that. somewhere in the middle. Not in terms of the decision, because I know what my decision for that I'm upset that it's being considered to be overturned. I don't agree with that. But in terms of just the marches and having experienced one and then hearing about the potential for another in that manner, just so fascinating. Not in a good way fascinating, but just like, wow, that I can see that. Having experienced one, and I'm not being sure I want to experience this other extreme, but just hearing it is enough to feel it. For me, anyways. To be a mother, Mother's Day. For some, it's a blessing. For others, it's a life sentence. It's all about perspective, right? You know, I've met someone who was abused and or violated, because it was only one, I think, a one-time thing, maybe, I don't know. And she had the baby. She's raised the baby. I know two people, and they're both on different. It's just wow. It's all about perspective and listening to each other's truth, because there's truth in what they choose and how they choose to share their story. There's truth in that. I'm tired. I think I'm gonna take another nap before I really get to it.
Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us, in whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience, and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.